Okay, Kelly. All right, welcome everyone. If everybody could find a seat, especially our board members that are taking up the front here. Quiet down, everyone, please. Okay, welcome. Looks like we're going to have a great turnout and a big election year. If everybody would, on Facebook, mention that you're here and tell people to go to hometownkeyWest.com. We're streaming live. And Clinton, we are through Florida Key, through
Two Oceans Digital.
Two Oceans Digital.
Thank you,
They changed their name.
Thank you.
So, let's just get right into it, and we'll do kind of a running commentary as we do. Everybody, candidate will have 90 seconds to speak. That should get us out of here 7:30. First up, we would have Mosquito Control Board, Phil Goodman. Phil had a trip planned that he specifically scheduled for to be here last week, but we had to change, so he gets an excuse. Is Tom McDonald here? Tom McDonald, Mosquito Commissioner. All right, we will move on to the school board. And representing School Board District 1, Bobby Highsmith is up for election. Bobby.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Bobby Highsmith. I'm currently serving as the Monroe County School Board member from District 1, which is the Key West area, finishing up my first term on the board. I got inspired to run 4 years ago, really based on a family tradition. My folks were career educators. They moved down here in the 60s, and I had the good fortune of being born and raised here in Key West and attending school. I'm a proud product of our school system. 4 years ago, the school district was facing some challenges. So the board was a bit politicized and divisive. We had been through some tough times. We'd had 5 superintendents in 4 years. We're getting some bad audits and reports from the state. Our state ranking had slipped. And I'm pleased to report that after 4 years, things have really turned around. Our superintendent has a long-term contract. Our state ranking has improved from 23rd to 12th. And we have a really good, solid board right now. A lot of different perspectives and opinions, but I think everyone on our board is really focused on making our district the best that it can possibly be. I feel very fortunate that they elected me their chair this year, and so finishing up my first term as chairman is something that I'm quite proud of, and I appreciate your support. Bobby Highsmith, School Board District 1. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby. Next up is our first contested race of the night. School Board District 4, the incumbent's John Dick. John, you want to come on up?
Good evening. I'm John Dick, School Board District 4. Dollars to the classroom was the principle that had guided me in my time on the school board. That allowed us to get the best bang for our tax dollars, and it kept administrative overhead to a minimum. It also makes our teacher salary the highest in the state, as it should have always been. As we strive to be the best and safest school district in Florida and beyond, we have added new rigorous courses in math, science, and technology. For those whose future plans doesn't include college, we've added industry certified courses such as firefighting, emergency medical responders, and currently we are adding a auto repair shop class in Key West High School. The district will also bring forth many new safety and security measures. Personally, I am fully invested in Monroe County schools. Having worked at Marathon High School for 5 years, currently my wife and daughter both are teaching in this district with a combined 40-something plus years to service the Monroe County schools. My children graduated from Marathon High School, and currently I have 2 precious grandchildren in Monroe County schools. I have continually served this community as a board member of the Boys and Girls Club, a Rotarian, and commander of 2 different American Legion posts and 1 VFW post here in Monroe County. As you go to vote August 28th for one of the many great candidates you're going to meet for mayor and the other countywide positions, please remember me, John Dick, for School Board District 4. I would be honored to receive your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Next up is James Doran. Come on up, Jim. And Jim, you noticed when John was going a little over, I came and stood next to him. For all of you candidates, if I'm standing next to you, the time's up. So.
Hi, my name is Jim Doran, and I'm running for School Board in District 4.
I started teaching in Monroe County in 1972, and since that time I have taught in 7 different countries around the world. I have a master's in educational administration, a doctorate in curriculum and instruction, and have my son graduated from Coral Shores High School, and we have been longtime Keys residents. I retired 2 years ago and started thinking, okay, what am I going to do with this knowledge, experience, and passion I have for education? And a number of people came to me and said, Jim, why don't you run for school board? I said, okay, I haven't tried that before, but I would like to be on the board. Right now, when Martin retires, there will be no other educators on the board, and I think it's really important that we have experienced educators with the knowledge and background on board decisions. I agree with so many things that have been said. I feel very strong about making sure we have the best teachers, that we're able to retain them, we're able to hire them, and one of the things that we are concerned with the teachers, as you all know, is what we do with the cost of living down here. How we're going to solve that is going to be a very difficult decision, but I can tell you that if we have the best teachers, the rest of it is easy. I hope you will vote for me. I will give it my all, as I've done for education for over 45 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Next up for District 5 is Sue Woltansky. And sorry for getting your name a little off, Jim.
Good evening. I'm Sue Woltansky. I'm running for District 5 School Board, that's Key Largo. Ron Martin is retiring, and I wanted to take a second to thank him for the time that he spent serving our community and our kids. In 2014, when I first questioned the amount of standardized testing that was going on in our schools, Ron reached out to me and he encouraged me to continue my advocacy. Today I'm pleased to call Ron and Brenda my friends, and they have encouraged me to run for school board, and Ron has endorsed my candidacy. I'm a retired pediatrician and a mother of 2 public school children, and I'm a passionate advocate for public education. I believe public schools are the most important public asset that we have. I think our schools are pretty good, but I think we could do better. I'd like us to spend less time preparing our kids to take standardized tests and more time preparing our kids for life. For safer schools, I think we need adequate mental health services and a strong safety net for our most troubled youth and our struggling families. And I believe in fiscal responsibility and local control of our education dollars. I'm worried our schools are vulnerable to state and national efforts to privatize public education, and as a school board member, I want to ensure that high-quality, safe public schools exist for our kids, our grandkids, and our entire Keys community. Sue Woltansky, District 5.
Good job, Sue. Can everybody hear us in the back? Tanya, can you hear me? Good. If you can, then thank Kelly Friend here from Audio Video Paradise. It's kind of neat. This is not just a set it and forget it thing. She's running the board the whole time because some people talk out here and other ones are here. Well, let's move on to the Key West City Commission. We're going to start with District 2. Sam Kaufman is the incumbent. Come on up, Sam.
Thank you all for your support. 3 years ago, I was standing up here and I had a lot of nervous energy. You know, like all these candidates, give them a lot of support because it's not easy getting up here. Especially the people first time running. Give them your support and respect because it really is difficult. It's been my privilege and my honor to represent District 2 and to represent all of you on the City Commission. I enjoy it a lot, and I can't imagine if someone didn't enjoy doing it and actually being a City Commissioner, because there's a lot to it. And I see Commissioner Weekly here; he does a great job, and we have a really good City Commission. That being said, I've learned over the last 3 years the best speech is a short speech, so thank you very much.
Now, again, since this is a call for candidates, and I will miss it through the night, but if there's anybody else looking to run for District 2, please let us know. If we haven't touched base with you ahead of time, I don't know you're out there, but make yourself known. So not hearing anybody doing that, we're going to move on to District 4. And this is an open seat. It was the judge's seat, and Greg Avila has announced, so come on up, Greg. And if there's anybody else that's going to run for this seat, please let us know. Greg, 90 seconds.
Thank you again. My name is Greg Avila. I'm a parent, along with my wife Heidi, of 2 children here, 16 and 12. Born and raised in Key West. I'm an attorney. I've been an attorney practicing in Key West for the last 27 years. For 27 years, besides representing thousands of clients throughout that time period, I've also represented the Monroe County School Board as an administrative hearing officer, and I've served as attorney for the Monroe County Career Service Council. Served on several charities throughout, and non-profits, including the Boy Scouts of America. I was district chairman of Boy Scouts of America. But why am I running for city commission? I recognize I recognize that there's a need and a balance between our tourism industry, which is our main industry here in Key West, and the needs of our residents of Key West. Now, we've been very successful in the past at providing for and bringing visitors to Key West, and I want to capitalize on that success and now put a big, heavy thumb on the quality of life for our residents. So I think every decision that's made before the City Commission needs to be decided on how it will benefit our residents in the City of Key West. I want to be a voice for working families and seniors in the City of Key West. Just because they don't have the ability to go down, working families don't have the ability to go to every City Commission meeting and sit there because they have to deal with their lives, they have to deal with children, they have to deal with doing homework with their children. I think by being able to, time's up, working families and seniors, Greg Avila, vote for me, City Commission, District 4. Thank you.
90 seconds goes fast. Next up is District 5, and District 5 is, as of today, going to be vacant. That was Margaret Romero's seat. She did announce, well, she announced, she hasn't qualified.
She filed
yes.
Today.
So, this will be an open seat. Is Ryan Bennett here? Ryan Bennett has announced that he's filed to run, but I haven't seen him. Ryan? All right, we will move on to another candidate, Mary Lou Hoover. I know Mary Lou's here. Come on up, Mary Lou. There she comes. Making us anticipate her. Come on up, Mary Lou. 90 seconds.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mary Lou Hoover, and I'm running for the commissioner's seat in District 5. I'm excited to be doing that, by the way. I have a little quote to start with. See something, say something, do something. That's sort of the way I approach life, and that's what I will bring to the commission seat if I'm elected. So I hope that you understand that's how excited I am about this race. Some of you know me from Girls Night Out. I know I've got some Girls Night Out ladies out there tonight. Excuse me. That's sort of an example of what I do when there's an issue or a problem. I had several ladies come to me over the years to say, we find it hard to meet people, make friends in Key West. The opportunities for networking are scarce. We don't have any way to promote our events and our business. Of course, that was before we had social media as well. So I decided that I could do something about that. I invited 10 women to my house, and from those 10 women, we grew to over 2,500 women throughout the Keys. We promoted their businesses, their organizations, their events, arts, music, and health. I had a weekly email that we used to do that, and then when Facebook got involved, we went ahead and had a page started up, so now the ladies can promote on that page. So I think that I have the ability to bring people together. I will use that ability to the best of, for the best that I can for the commission, and I hope you'll give me the chance to be your commissioner. Mary Lou Hoover, District 5, City Commission.
Thank you, Mary Lou. Wally Moore? Come on up, Wally.
Good evening. Real quick, before I start on myself, would you all take a moment tonight when you go home to remember those victims of those 2 heinous acts of violence today in Nashville and in Canada? My name is Wallace Moore. I'm running for District 5 City Commission. I was born and raised here, live in a house I grew up in, been happily married to my wife Valerie for 25 years, got a son Charles and a son Wally. I work at the Naval Base. I'm the transportation supervisor there. I recently just was awarded the 3rd highest honor a civilian can get in the Navy for my work before, during, and after Hurricane Irma. I sit on the city's Parking and Transportation Board, and I don't really have a top 3 because they all go together. Without one, there's not another. We need to fully staff our fire and police department. This stuff with them running short on ambulances and fire trucks got to go. I personally know this. At the same time, we can fully staff it all we want. If we have nowhere for them to live, it's not going to do no good. So those go hand in hand together. And while tourism is our mainstay, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, we need to remember those of us that are here 365. Without those people, nothing would exist. And don't forget, get more with Wally Moore.
Thank you, Wally. I want to thank Salute. They've really outdone themselves tonight. We had a great crowd. Thanks to all the waiters and waitresses. We're going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to go to the House of Representatives. This is District 26. Carlos Curbelo is not here tonight. He's got some of his campaign people are here, but his opponent, Debbie Mucarsel Powell. And it's a really easy way to say it, Mucarsel Powell. We all know her. She's been around before. So.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you so much to Hometown for inviting all of us down here to introduce ourselves. My name is Debbie Mucarsel Powell, and I'm running for Congress in Florida's 26th District. When I came to this country as a young girl with my mother and my sister, she brought us here looking for opportunities that she never had. She came with nothing. She didn't speak the language. She was quickly able to get to jobs. She was a home care health provider. My sister started working at Burger King, and I was always in awe watching them make a new life in this country. I started working at the age of 15 at the donut shop when I was in high school. I ate a lot of donuts. And I was fortunate enough to earn a scholarship to attend college. And so I earned a degree in political science. I got a master's in international political economy, and I have focused my career on healthcare and education, which is where the community has the greatest need here in South Florida. I worked very closely with a team to bring the first public medical school here to FIU, and we worked in a program called the Neighborhood Help, which brings healthcare access to the most vulnerable areas here in Miami-Dade County and Monroe as well. And when I saw Congress doing nothing, and also making it harder for working families to get ahead, when I saw the GOP Republican Congress vote to take away health care, including our very own congressman here, I knew that I had to run. I knew that I had to put my name in. And I want to tell you, this race is not about me. This is about all of us. It's not even about my opponent. This is about all of us having a voice about what type of country we want to live in, what type of community we want to leave to our children. So I thank you very much for inviting me today, and I hope to obtain your support. Bye.
Thank you, Debbie. Clinton, I have a favor. Can you stream down to the chickens hitting the shrimp here? There's little baby chicks here. Just gives a Key West flair to all those people out watching online. Thanks. And if anybody gets a chance, would you see if we're streaming online, ask somebody what it looks like and if it's working, and then just nod or yell at us. So we're going to switch, well, moving on, we're going to go to Key West Utility Board. This is going to be an interesting year because they're having quite a shakeup. Maybe I'll let the candidates themselves talk about it. But I want to bring up Mona Clarke. She is seat A. Where's Mona? We have seen Mona up here numerous times. Come on down, Mona.
Hey, Mona. Hey, Mona.
Oh, you got to be right here so they can.
Okay.
Okay.
Good evening.
Right where the yellow stripe is.
Oh, okay. I'm taking notes from Sheldon. Good evening. Thank you for having me here this evening to speak. For those who may not know me, I am Mona C. Clarke, and I'm running for re-election to the Utility Board. Upon election, my commitment and dedication to our community and to Keys Energy Service will remain the same. My focus, our focus, is on reliability, safety, quality customer service, an effective and qualified workforce, and always, always being mindful to keep rates affordable. Given our experience with Hurricane Irma, which affected us all, we will continue to improve our processes and our procedures to ensure that reliability, no matter what storm comes, we are ready. If re-elected, I will continue to assure that these priorities remain at the forefront of our decisions. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to continuing to serve you. Don't forget to vote, and thank you.
Thank you, Mona. Is there anybody that hasn't let us know that they're going to run for utility board? Okay. The next group we're going to bring up are utility board candidates, and it's a very unique year in that, if you don't know, Keys Energy serves from Key West all the way up to the 7 Mile Bridge, yet their board was only elected until this year in Key West. So everybody in the lower Keys was sort of, the old taxation without representation thing, but that's been fixed. So we have an open seat, and our first candidate for that's going to be Robert Barrios. Come on up, Robert.
First, I'd like to thank Salute and Hometown Pack for having us and all the people that came out today. I would like to thank, my name is Robert Barrios, and I am running for the Key West Utility Board, Seat D, which is the seat from Big Pine all the way down to the lower Keys. I was born and raised in Key West. My wife Tanya and I live in Big Coppic. We've been there for about 25 years. And I am currently the practice manager at a local CPA firm, Denise Warren Associates. Prior to that, I worked at Keys Energy and retired with over 28 years of service. While there, I was a meter reader, worked in generation, customer service, purchasing, engineering, and I finished my last few years as a safety and risk officer. I'm very familiar with the daily operations and the infrastructure and our customers' needs. Keys Energy is about providing safe, reliable, sustainable power for our ratepayers. That starts with the utility board, but it takes the hard work of the employees to get that mission done. I'm very proud to say I was part of that great workforce. Knowledge is power, and with your vote, I will bring my knowledge to the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. You did a good job. This is tough. It's really hard to just get up here and start talking. So, next up will be Greg Daniels. Greg?
Hi, my name is Greg Daniels. I am running for utility board. There we go. All right. I'm running for utility board because I believe I can make a difference here. There are two times that you think about your power. When you turn your light on and it doesn't come on, and when you get your bill. I want to make sure that when that light gets flipped up, you don't have to think, why did it not come on? Keys Energy has a great reliability right now. Superb reliability. But as the hurricane taught us, lines in the air are a problem. I would like to see Keys Energy move towards providing some kind of incentive to put the lines underground for new development and possibly old development as well. I would also like to work, now this is a lower Keys, brand new lower Keys seat. For this lower Keys seat, it does represent the citizens of the lower Keys, but I believe it doesn't represent just the citizens of the lower Keys, it represents all the ratepayers of Keys Energy Services. My wife and I have been married here in the Keys and made our home for the past, I think, 8 years she's been with me here. I have been here for approximately 30 years. We are dedicated here. We are here for the long haul. I'm a construction coordinator. I'm used to living my projects within budgets, otherwise I would not still have a job. That's about it. We are having a kickoff party on May 2nd at Vino's on Duval. I'd appreciate if everybody come by and say hello. If you have any concerns about Keys Energy Services, please do let me know. And I do want to clear up one bit of information. I am not related to Stormy Daniels.
That is good to know. Our next candidate is a little shy, so everybody please be patient with him. Walt Dobrinsky. Come on up, Walt. See, I gave an intro for it.
Now I'm feeling really shy. Thank you, Todd, Hometown Pack. I appreciate this opportunity. I want to do three things. Explain a little bit about why I'm qualified, a little bit about why Keys Energy has some issues that need to be dealt with, and most importantly, why I'm the person that can solve them. First, I'm an electrical engineer, worked for a utility, building, operating power plants as director of training. I left, got an MBA from the Wharton School, went to work for an international consulting firm. I've worked for over 150 utilities in the last 30 plus years. I've worked for state senates, the U.S. Senate, the U.S. House of Representatives, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. I was just named a lifetime member of the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. So what are the issues with Keys? Does anybody know that Keys have the highest rates of any utility, municipal or IOU in the state of Florida? 1,000 kilowatt customer would be $140 a month. The average for municipals is $116, so they're 20% higher. They had just took out a $50 million line of credit and spent $45 million for Irma recovery. Have not received a penny yet from FEMA. And as you know, collecting from FEMA is difficult. They do not have a coherent plan for renewables, solar, wind, so on. And they've got a senior management team that is slowly being diminished through retirements. I have done this. I've worked with utilities, I've worked with board of directors. I believe while everybody that's running, everybody on the board have great assets, I'm the one who can best do it. So thank you very much. And I am having a kickoff tomorrow at Keys Creperie and one Thursday at Malago.
Thanks, Walt. If we could, if people in the bar, if you can hear us back there, try to keep it down a little bit because it is coming out, the noise. So, our last, at least that we know of, Key West utility candidate is Beth Ramsey Vickery. Come on up, Beth.
Thank you all. I'm Beth Ramsey Vickery, and I'm running for the Key West Utility Board because I care about your cost, our community, and the conservation of our keys. I retired 12 years ago. Since then, I've been actively working on our local utility issues in a positive and productive manner. I spent 6 years on the Keys Energy Advisory Board and 3.5 as your County Planning Commissioner. The function of the Key West Utility Board is to form the direction, policy goals, and guide the financial business of the utility. I am the only candidate for this position who has experience sitting on a local governmental board with decision-making authority. As a County Planning Commissioner, I helped write the 2030 County Land Development Code, and I helped guide and manage our utility and conservation issues and policies. Before I became the Planning Commissioner, I, as a private citizen, attended over 50 meetings to update the 2030 County Comprehensive Plan. I didn't spend 3 years working on the new comp plan because I was paid to, because I wasn't. I did it because I care about our community. But I'm not here running on what I've done, but on what I want to do. I want to focus on the local concerns we all care about: cost, community, and conservation. I want to help lower customer costs and bring new conservation efforts to our community. This begins with initiating new energy efficiency programs and extending throughout our service area. I'm Beth Ramsey Vickery. I'm running for Key West Utility Board. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Beth. There's a lot of people here, and I think it's a good chance that some of you didn't go through the front door and get an opportunity to join Hometown. and give us money, because we don't get paid for this and it's all volunteer. Can I help you guys?
This is my friend, and he's running for mayor.
Oh, okay. Hang on a second, Bill. We're not up to the mayor yet, but when it gets there, I will get you. Okay.
Thank you, Tom.
Sure. Copy a second. We're going to go state rep next. Our incumbent is Holly Rasnake. I see you, Rick. Holly, come on up. I know you're here. Kind of caught her off guard. Holly, 90 seconds.
Thank you so much, Todd, and I just had to step over a baby chick. Sorry about that. Good to see you, Gwen. And thank you to Hometown PAC for hosting this evening's event. It's always a winner. And it's been my honor for the past 6 years representing the Keys in District 120 in the Florida House. And I'm looking forward to my 4th and final term as your state representative. And since my election in 2012, our community has benefited from some pretty impactful public policy, and it's nice to hear one of your bills come to fruition with the creation of the new, or the change in the utility board seat. And our successes in the state budget have been many. But right now, our community is going through the biggest recovery effort in our island chain's history. And we've made tremendous strides, and I'm proud of the resources I've been able to bring home from Tallahassee, but there is still much work to be done. You bet. My record as an advocate for our beautiful environment, an advocate for our housing, for our incredible workforce, and as a champion for equal protections for the LGBT community is something that I'm proud of, and a record that I want to continue. And representing the Keys presents unique challenges, and nobody knows those challenges more than I do, but it's those challenges that drive me to serve you in the Florida legislature. So thank you again for coming out to support your hometown PAC, and remember to vote Holly Rasnake for state representative in August and November. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. Something I should have said is that Holly is a Republican, and the opponent that we have here today, Pat Giselle, is a Democrat. If nobody runs against them, then it's an open primary, and everybody gets to vote. If somebody comes in on one party or another, it closes the primary, so then they have to either vote to find the Democrat or the Republican candidate. But that said, right now, we don't have anybody. Pat, would you come on up? I think Pat's here. I thought she was. Pat?
Pat, that may not be correct. Joyce is telling me that it goes to November.
Oh, if it doesn't, well, she's not here anyway, so we'll have another opportunity.
There you go.
So, we are going to move on. We're kind of making some of this up as we go, because we have to. David Rice, come bail me out.
All right, David Rice. Yay.
County Commissioner David Rice, who is the incumbent and so far does not have an opponent, but the night is young.
You know, bailing you out may be more trouble than I have time for, but I'm David Rice, and I'm your County Commissioner in District 4. I'm currently serving as Mayor of Monroe County, and quite frankly, I love the job. We've done a lot. If you remember back to our first meeting here, I talked about 3 things that I believe affect the quality of our life in the Keys. And I still believe that. They are tourism, they are workforce housing, and they are traffic. Some of our candidates have mentioned some of those, and I really believe they are the core of our enjoyment of the Keys. There are many associated things, and as we all know, this thing that we called Irma, although I hate to mention the name, took a somewhat balanced system and tossed it into the ocean. It is totally out of whack right now. Tourism, we're trying to get back on board. Workforce housing, we are doing amazing things. Right, Heather? And we hope to do more. So when you vote, remember David Rice, District 4, Board of County Commission, and I thank you so much.
Thank you, David. This is an interesting year, especially for this event, and then we've gone through about 9/10 of our races, and we're only about halfway through our candidates. So this is the first of our hotly contested race. It's going to be County Commission District 2. Michelle Coldiron. I know Michelle is here. Come on up, Michelle. Not at all. You have 90 seconds starting now.
I'm so happy I didn't trip on my way here. I'm Michelle Coldiron, and I'm running for County Commission because our future matters. I've lived in the Keys for 18 years, and I believe in the importance of public service. I belong to many organizations in the Keys, as well as I sit on the board of director for AHAC and DAC 3 as a Tourist Development Council member. My passion, however, is for children and for families. I've been a mentor with the Take Stock in Children program for 12 years and a child advocate for the Guardian Ad Litem program. Currently, I sit on Marathon City Council, and this year I am the mayor of Marathon. In that capacity, I've had experience balancing a municipal budget, approving and encouraging workforce housing projects. I stand shoulder to shoulder with other elected officials going to Washington and Tallahassee, asking for funds for wastewater treatment, for land acquisition, and to talk about solutions for workforce housing. I want to take this experience and immediately apply it to the county. I want to make sure this continues to be the best place to live, raise a family, and come on vacation. And we can do that by protecting our environment, by encouraging workforce housing where it makes sense, and by continuing with our mitigation of hurricane damage. I ask that you vote for me, Michelle Coldiron, because our future matters.
Thank you, Michelle. Tommy Ryan, come on up, Tommy. The only guy with a skirt.
Kilt. You got to stand out in the crowd. Anyway, my name is Tommy Ryan. I live in Big Pine Key. I'm a retired New York City firefighter, retired because of 9/11. I also served in the United States Army as an MP. I'm a member of American Legion 168 here in Key West. I'm on the board of directors for the Fire Museum. And I'm a little angry about the aftermath of Irma and the lack, from my perspective and from my community, my neighbors, planning on part of the county in cleanup. We sat in our own filth until January, and that's just not acceptable. We should have a better plan to get the debris picked up and out of the way. And my neighbors, it was detrimental to them. It was psychologically damaging. And on top of that, I find out there's more problems. As you all saw, 100 acres of land burnt yesterday in the last 24 hours in Big Pine. I found out yesterday, talking to some of the service members that were there trying to fight the fire, that we had no heavy equipment to fight these fires. There's no equipment to put a fire break through the woods. We need to hold people accountable. I can do that. Vote for Tommy Ryan in the next election.
Thank you, Tommy. And just for the record, I did know that it wasn't a skirt. Chuck Weitzel, come on up, Chuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here this evening. My name is Chuck Weitzel, and I'm running for County Commissioner because I want to make a difference. A little bit about me. I'm a certified public accountant. I've got hundreds of clients here in the Lower Keys. I've been here since 1980 when I bought my first piece of property, full-time since 1995. So I am committed to the Keys. What brought me here is our beautiful environment. Pure and simple, I'm a petting, not only an SSI scuba instructor. I love the water, I love the fishing, love the diving, have a 100-ton captain's license. Yes, I make my living every day as a certified public accountant, so I have my hands in the real records as to what's going on between you and your neighbors, what's happening with their businesses. I think that gives me the ability to really see what's going on and to make a difference. The County Commission is where it happens. They have more of an effect on your life than you may realize. Please, put me in that position so I can help. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chuck. Is Eleanor McAdams here? I know she's announced. Eleanor? Oh, come on up. Nice to see you again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here tonight. My name is Eleanor McAdams, and I'm running again for County Commission District 2. Before I go any further, I'd like us to thank all of our military families and the men and women that serve us. For if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to have this much fun in this process, so we thank them with our hearts. I'm running again because I feel that I can give the community what it needs. I don't have all the education some of these other people have, but I got chutzpah. And I say what needs to be said. And I'm not afraid to say it. I live also in Little Torch, where my neighbors got beat up. My friends lost their homes. The garbage was outrageous, and you know, we can do better. And the problem is we're $93 million in debt, ladies and gentlemen, and that's nobody's fault right now but Irma. But we need to fix that. We need to be prepared for these things. We need to have the funds to make it work. Also, I am in the insurance business. Please don't throw anything at me. It's not a job I chose, it's one I stepped into. Please, we have problems coming down the street with wind and flood premiums. If you have a house that was built before 1973, please get an elevation certificate. Your premiums are going to go outrageous. Not only that, if it's a secondary home, the premiums are even higher. So I'm asking you to please consider me and my life knowledge and vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Eleanor. Last person on our list, Rick Betcher. And I will introduce Rick, and that he's a little beat up. One of my pet peeves, whether you think they're real or not, the crosswalks on North Roosevelt. Well, Rick is an example of what happens in the crosswalks of North Roosevelt. So come on up, Rick.
Thank you, Todd. I'm only going to be running for county commissioner here if George Nugent changes his mind. And on June 24th, he shows up and signs up again, as a surprise the last time. I'll be there at 11:30, ready to run. Before that, I'm going to get some practice, because one thing I think that is a problem with the county commission is that because of no term limits, that the people who have always run have simply had a lot more practice. So until June 24th, I'm going to be here in front of you and talking to you. What I want to bring to the county commission is better ethics, more expertise, and as I said, term limits. The ethics obviously here, with every one of the county commissioners suffering an ethics violation for $20,000 concerning over $15 million of misreported income. Now, this is a major problem. Second, as far as expertise goes, there's a real problem with the amount of money that is wasted. The thing that I first found out was the $1.5 million we've lost by persecuting a Stand Up for Animals. That's been 10 years, and it's cost us a great amount of money. And during that time, Heather Carruthers went and said that we should go another $100,000 in this useless lawsuit. And she said that, hey, $100,000 may sound like a lot to a lot of people, but we spend that kind of money all the time. So in November, okay.
Thanks, Rick. Right now, I'm not Bruce Buffer, but for the main event, the Mayor of Key West. And this is the first time we've had an open seat in, Craig, is it 11 years? He's here, so, and he can't run again.
Enjoying every moment.
So you think. So, Randy Becker has announced. Randy is in a kind of the same situation that the Goodmans had. They had scheduled to be here last weekend, but we changed the date on them, so I just wanted to give him a little acknowledgement on that. We have plenty of other people for you to talk to, though, or to listen to. Is Henry Terry here? He was a last-minute announcement today. Henry? We will move down the list. A name we all know, Sloan Bashinsky. Sloan, where are you? Sloan! Oh, here he comes. Sloan has as much time up here as I do. So, come on.
90 seconds, Sloan.
Somebody asked me if I'm running. I said, no, I'm too old to run. I only waddle. That's it. That's all I got in me. Somebody from up North Carolina way reads my blog pretty much every day. A fool's work never ends. Said, why don't you try this for a campaign slogan? So here it is. You tried everything else, why don't you try crazy? Sloan for mayor, crazy. Everybody knows Key West is an open air insane asylum. Why don't you make it official? For example, I was thinking about that, and I saw the Citizen article about the developer, the promoter, losing 50 grand out there at the amphitheater on New Year's Eve. And I talked to the imaginary beings, and I said, gosh, I wonder how many units of Housing Authority affordable rental units we could have put out there instead. I'm going to switch gears. I've run for the county commission 3 times, twice against George Nugent. You do not want another commission with 2 marathon commissioners on it. Big Pine Key and everything down needed their own commissioner after Irma. Look what happened up there after Irma. Do not vote for 2 county commissioners in Marathon.
Thank you, Sloan. That's a good way to kick off the mayor's race. Oh, Henry. Okay, Henry Terry. This is, we skipped order. Well, no, he's here. This is Henry Terry. He announced about an hour before we got going. So, Henry.
Thank you, Mark. Hey, I'm an issues candidate. I just want to make people aware that there's a lot of like nasty stuff going on out in the mooring fields by the government. People are being arrested for the type of mooring they have. They're criminalizing Key West lifestyle. And I think that it's kind of disingenuous in this campaign cycle to be talking about affordable housing for Key Westers and workers and what have you. At the same time, the city is essentially using these draconian measures to end this Key West lifestyle that exists outside on the various mooring fields. Key West, the city of Key West, I think, closed down the mooring field right off of Garrison Bight, which was like the locals' mooring field, under some pretext of public safety. I asked that this be reopened. I asked that locals be given the right to put serious moorings in, like helical screw moorings in, maybe like long-term leases on those, so that we can have a safer, more stable workforce housing out on the people who want to live on their boats. Thank you.
Thank you, Henry. Next up is a woman named Terry Johnston. I thought you looked familiar.
Good evening, everyone, and my name is Terry Johnston, and I'm running for Key West Mayor. I am a 2-term city commissioner, and like most of you out here in the audience, Key West is my home. We live here, we work here, and we play here. During my time on the commission, I worked for each and every one of you to make sure that this island would thrive. And as mayor, I will continue that work. We've got issues in Key West. One of them, obviously, is affordable and workforce housing. We need more of it. But we also need to make sure that our Key West first-time home buyers have a competitive edge over vacation rentals. We need to make sure that we are providing quality housing options for our seniors. The second issue is we need to clean Key West. We need a much cleaner Key West. Our streets, our roads, our parks, our nearshore waters, they should be pristine, and we should be the flagship of Florida. So we need to work on that. I just forgot my next issue. Sorry. Let me just take a look at this brochure. Oh, infrastructure. I had 2 more issues. Infrastructure. First of all, we've got primary and we've got secondary roads that we need to take a look at. They need to be resurfaced, and we need to do that right now. Okay. And then we need to harden Key West. We need to make sure, I'm just going to finish this one sentence. We need to make sure that we are hardening Key West so that we are prepared for the weather events of the future. So on August 28th, vote for Terry Johnston for Key West Mayor. Thank you so much.
I told you it can be tough up here. You know, I think there will be a lot said about this election because there's so many people running, but it really is the process. And it's great that so many people want to volunteer and put their lives on the line like this. And I mean, Craig's set a great example, and I think he showed that the mayor doesn't have to be a terrible job. And that's why everybody wants it now. So. All right, next up is Carrie Noda. Carrie? I think I saw you around. Come on up, Carrie.
Hi everybody, back at the beach. I am Carrie Noda. I want to tell you a little bit what happened to myself when I was gone from Key West for over 20 years. I was at school. I attended Fordham in New York City. I got a degree in continuing education. I attended Harvard. I was studying specialized housing in Massachusetts. And I attended Rutgers, where I studied addictions and alcohol. My background is...
Carrie, microphone.
Closer?
Yes.
You really like it loud. Working in Washington, D.C., I was with the Department of Housing and Urban Development in operations. And what I did was, like I explained a while back, those of you that actually do write, your Congress people, and that you try to explain, as I am, we need security for our children in the school system here. How many new schools have we had built in the past 15, 20 years? It's been 20 years since Columbine. Okay? I would be one of the ones that would pick up those letters and then give it to Secretary Cuomo, and we would decide what it is that we really need to focus on. In New York, I was a trainer for the New York Police Department. As a trainer, I worked with the school teachers, security officers that the kids meet as they walk in through the front door. So I completely support doing something as far as with the school board, an effort to secure our children here in Key West. And with the Key West Department of Housing, I worked at Safeport with addictions issues.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you.
Is Rick Brown here? Rick, we've got you on the list. All right, well, if Rick does hear this, come on up. Otherwise, George Bellinger. Come on up, George.
Good afternoon. My name is George Bellinger, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself and let you know a few reasons why I want to be your mayor. Let's put Key West families first, the Key West family, and concentrate on the local quality of life issues that affect us all. Issues such as housing, parking, making sure when we do develop new green spaces that we have playing fields for lots of kids. These are important issues. We're going to focus on maintaining a healthy environment. We all know that supports a strong economy. We need the balance, and we need to have the economy going well to support the local businessman. Now, as we make our decisions for the future, and we're going to keep looking forward to making Key West a strong, happy place for families, for everybody in Key West. Now, today, as I stand here and share the dais with a wide, diverse, and caring group of candidates, together, it's our diversity that makes Key West strong. And that's something we can all be proud of. 20 years ago today, this week actually, not today, but this week, it was Earth Day, I planted that palm tree right there. This is like a home court for me. And for me, that symbolizes what it takes to thrive in Key West. Deep roots and a nice foundation. So I'm looking forward to earning your vote this time around, and I want to introduce my wife Carla and my son George, my foundation here in Key West, and all my team out there. And we're looking forward to working for your community and for our future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George. Bill Foley. Come on up, Bill.
Not quite the applause everyone else got. Thanks for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, thank you for that. Hopefully not children. I'm prone to a bit of profanity. The main thing here in Key West, two big issues, obviously, lack of affordable housing and the increasing number of cars that are pouring onto our tiny island. If you want to give me more than 90 seconds on the microphone, I'll be happy to talk about those issues. In the meantime, if you see me riding my bike, if you come by my ferry terminal where I work, if you see me sitting at the pier, come on up, ask me questions, talk to me about whatever policy you want. I'm always around. More importantly, When setting up for this campaign, which has been about a year, seems like 10, I was asked almost every day what my agenda was. And when I was preparing for this speech, it occurred to me, I don't have an agenda. I'm not a politician. I'm a numbers guy, I'm a finance guy. I have a finance degree and an accounting minor from Clemson. I probably just lost a few Florida State votes. All right. But the important thing is I'm a problem solver. I've left so many city hall meetings wanting to pull my hair out, wishing I had the last hour and a half of my life back because nothing was accomplished, people talk in circles, and it just drives me nuts. I can solve problems, and I will solve problems if you vote for Bill Foley for mayor.
Good job, Bill. Is Bob Goodrow here? Bob Goodrow? All right, so since we have a couple of bar owners up, and it's really hot up here, if anybody wanted to get me a cold drink, I would really love it. Yeah. So with that, Danny Hughes, come on up, Danny, and tell us why you want to run. I wasn't kidding about the drink either.
Hi guys, I'm Danny Hughes. I'm running for Key West Mayor. My career focused on work in environmentally sensitive areas. I was one of 7 people appointed by the governor of Louisiana to the Port of New Orleans Commission, and Katrina came. The port was open less than 3 weeks later. Now on to Key West. After 70 trips in 15 years, my wife and I bought 2 friends' patio restaurant. We have never been in the restaurant business. By putting our employees first, we've grown the business almost 40%. Our employees enjoy benefits. We feel that it's a moral issue to give them such. We're heavily involved in local charities, Samuel's House, Star of the Sea Mission, Kids Come First, Too Many to Mention, Key Strong, and more. In just 12 days, we helped organize the Love Fest over at the amphitheater. It raised $37,000 for Key Strong in 12 days. My wife and I were blessed enough we were included in the 2018 Samuel's House Circle of Heroes. I serve on the Key West Bike Board. My first meeting, I made the motion to save the Western Union. It's important. Ask anyone in the bite about my service on the bike board. Why me? 2 reasons. I've owned and operated companies with as much as $52 million in sales and 400 employees. There's 500 employees in Key West. Second reason, you got good candidates. If you want to see the same face in a different place, you got plenty to choose from. If you want positive change for the people in Key West, like our employees, vote Danny Hughes. I'm a good choice. Thank you.
Nice job, Dan. Thank you. I love this town. Is Mitch Jones here? Or Q Mitch? I guess I am really disappointed. Mitch is a funny guy, and I really wanted him up here. But how about Margaret Romero? Margaret.
She just filed today.
She filed today. I would really hope she's here. Now, Margaret, come on up.
Can't get out of his box.
And my cleanup batter, stand ready. He knows who he is. Come on down, Margaret.
Big surprise.
Commissioner Margaret Romero.
Thank you. I didn't intend to speak this evening, and I kind of filed by accident today. I was really waiting until May. Yes, I was elected by the people. I was elected by the people of District 5, and I've proudly served the city for the last 3 years. I'm a person who will do what's right for the right reasons. I want fiscal responsibility, transparency, and I don't mind asking the hard questions so that it's a fair shake to the people of Key West. I do ask that you would consider me of the honor of being the mayor of your city. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. All right, besides my cleanup batter who knows who he is there anybody else running for mayor that we haven't talked to or heard from? Oh, well, he knows who he is. Come on down, Mark.
Todd, I want to thank you very much. You and your group, you've done a great job here. Mayor Kate's out there, phenomenal term. Thank you. You've done a great job. Let me introduce myself. I'm Mark Rossi. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I was the District 2 Commissioner for 10 years. I hope I did a great job. Also served as the vice mayor of the city of Key West for 10 years. Okay? I'm also a 35-year businessman on Duval Street, and I know what it takes to run this city. My campaign will be on quality of life, to fix the streets in this town, keep the parks and everything clean, and keep your taxes low. And I'm here to run for mayor, and I'm serious about it. And I wish you'd vote for me. Vote for Mark Rossi. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. And thank all of you for coming. Please stay, drink Richard's booze, and talk to everybody. This is what it's all about.
No, June 22.
Okay, June 22nd is the next one we'll do.
June 22nd.
June 22nd. Meet the candidates. That's it. They'll get it. You're going to hear from us. Bye.